Today we will discuss on the topic uses of dimensional analysis. The first one is to check the correctness of physical equation. Means by using dimensional analysis we check whether the given equation is physically correct or not. Consider any kinematical equation of motion v is equals to u plus at, where v is final velocity, u is initial velocity, a is acceleration and t is time. So let us check whether the given equation is correct or not by using dimensional analysis. So first I will consider dimensions of LHS. What you have in LHS, that is final velocity v. So if I want to write the dimensions of v, the SI unit of v is meter per second. So it is that is length per time. So if you consider dimensions of u now, so dimensions of u, that we can write as, that is also velocity, so I can write that one as same. So consider dimensions of at. So what are the dimensions of acceleration and time? So write acceleration is L and t is the time, so I take t over here. So if you apply indices over here, so it is minus 2 plus 1 will become minus 1. So therefore dimensions of RHS, dimensions of RHS, what you have in RHS in this equation, u plus at. What are the dimensions of u? They are L t raised to minus 1 plus at. What you have at? L t minus 1. Therefore can I conclude the LHS, dimensions of LHS, L t raised to minus 1, dimensions of RH also L t raised to minus 1, L t raised to minus 1. So can I conclude dimensions of LHS is equals to dimensions of RHS. So what is your conclusion? As the dimensions of LHS and RHS are the same. If you see each and every term, we have a same dimension, you also have a same dimension, AT also have a same dimension. So as the dimensions of LHS and RHS are the same, we can conclude that what the given equation is dimensionally correct. I hope I made it clear. So you can try for other kinematical equations, like consider for homework it is, you can do at home, S is equals to ut plus half at square. You can check whether the dimensions of S, dimensions of ut and dimensions of at square are same or not. If they are same, then you can conclude the given equation is dimensionally correct. And another one you can try, that is you can take v square equals to u square plus 2as. So this is also you can try, check whether the whatever given equation I have given, v square, the dimensions of v square, dimensions of u square and dimensions of as are same or not. Now proceed to second one. The second use of dimensional analysis is that to establish the relation between related physical quantities. Means what? Whether the given physical quantities, how they are related, whether they are directly proportional, whether they are inversely proportional, whether they are directly proportional to square root of the thing, and we are going to establish the relation between the related physical quantities. For example, you can take the period T of oscillation of simple pendulum depends upon the length L and the acceleration due to gravity. Means we are going to establish the relation between T, L and G, how they are related. So what we can write, suppose you can take T is directly proportional to length, and think that length, the power of length I'll take as A, and then you can take T is a period which depend on length and acceleration due to gravity. So length I already taken, so take acceleration due to gravity and take another power on that as a B. So can I combine this? T depends upon length as well as acceleration due to gravity. So what will happen, as you know, we can't keep a proportionality sign and calculate anything. So we have to remove this and introducing proportionality constant K over here and L raised to A, G raised to B. We took proportionality constant K, L raised to A and G raised to B over here, where K is, you can write proportionality constant. So proceeding further, so what we'll take, we'll take the dimensions of each term over here. So I will take a time, period is nothing but time. So can I take dimensions of time as a L0, M0, T raised to 1, because only time is exist over here, and K is a constant which is dimensionless. So I will take a length can be taken as L, again M0, T0, but raised to A is there. So you can take K like that only. And then G is acceleration due to gravity. So we have to take dimensions of acceleration. So what I will do, L1, M0, T raised to -2 and raised to B. So if you solve this by applying indices K, so can I take a 1 into A as a over here, M raised to 0, T raised to 0, and B if you take inside, it is 1 into BB, T raised to -2B. So once again apply indices over here, L raised to A, L raised to B, can I write A plus B over here, and M raised to 0 is there, nothing, and T raised to 0 -2B become -2B. And what you have in LHS, L raised to 0, M raised to 0, T raised to 1. So comparing the dimensions of the corresponding quantities on both the sides. What you have in L raised to A plus B, you have in a RHS. In LHS you have L raised to 0. So can I take A plus B equals to 0? And M raised to 0, M raised to 0, so leave that. T raised to -2B and T raised to 1 over here. So can I take -2B equals to 1 over here? So what I did, I compared the powers of the dimensions. So can I write B is equals to -half over here? So if I put here A, what is B here? -half. So -half equals to 0. So can I conclude A is equals to half if -half comes here? So what I got? A equals to half and B equals to -half. So what is your conclusion? Therefore, this, if you call this as a equation 1 over here, so what we can write? Equation 1 becomes T is equals to K L raised to A. What is your A? It is a half. And G, what is your B over here? It is -half. So can I write this one as, it is half means nothing but root. So can I write it is L raised to half divided by Y divided by, it is a minus half, no? So we can write like this. So here the value of k can be determined by experiment. So we can't use dimension analysis to determine the value of k, and it is found that it is 2 pi. Experimentally k value is determined as a 2 pi. Therefore we can write t is equals to 2 pi under root L by G. So this is how we related T to L and T to G. So that is the meaning of to establish the relation between related physical quantities. The third use of dimensional analysis is that to find the conversion factor between the units of the same physical quantities in two different system of units. Means, for example, if you want to convert kg to gram, so 1 kg equals to 1000 gram. Kg is the SI unit of mass and CGS unit of mass is gram. But what we did, we converted from SI system to CGS, like a 1 kg is equals to 1000 gram. Means we are going to find out the conversion factor, which is very important and which play very important role in our physics. So for example, we consider, let 1 joule is equals to x erg. Okay, so we are going to convert joule to erg over here. Joule is a unit in SI system and erg is a unit in a CGS system. But remember, they are of the same physical quantities. If you are consider for a work, joule as a SI unit of work, this is also, erg is also CGS unit of work. Means we are converting the factors of the units of the same physical quantities, work and work, remember, in two different systems, SI to CGS system. So let us start with the consideration of dimensions of work, as it is given as a joule over here. So we can take a dimensional formula. Dimensional formula for work, we are already familiar with this. It is a L square m1 t raised to minus 2. So what will happen, substituting call it as 1 in 1. So can I take it is a L2 m1 t raised to minus 2 over here, and x into, again erg is nothing but L2 m1 t raised to minus 2. To distinguish between the dimensions in SI system and the dimensions in a CGS system, I will take a suffix over here. So where suffix 1, here suffix 1 I have taken, if you see, indicate SI units, and tell me what will be the suffix 2 indicates. Suffix 2 indicate CGS units. So one side SI I took, one side CGS I have taken. Therefore, as you know, in SI system, L, M, T are expressed in length is in terms of meter, mass in terms of kg, and time in terms of second. And in CGS, I am talking about SI and CGS over here. In CGS system, these LMT are expressed in C for centimeter, G for gram, S for once again second, respectively. If I take a quantity which are with the suffix 2 this side, so this equation will become x is equals to what you have in LHS. So if you bring this side, So can I write this one as L1 by L2 M1 by M2 raised to 1 T1 by T2 raised to minus 2. If you proceed further, x is equals to, now tell me, L1 is suffix 1 indicate that it is a SI, suffix 2 indicates as it is CGS. So length in SI is nothing but meter. So in CGS it is centimeter. And if you proceed for a mass, mass in SI is kg, mass in CGS is gram. If you take a time, it is nothing but in terms of second in both the system. So if you solve, meter to be converted into centimeter, so 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter. So can I write it as 100 centimeter divided by centimeter? So kg to gram, 1 kg equals to 1000 gram, and it is gram over here, and second get cancelled, so you can take 1 over here. So if you check here, 100 can be written as 10 raised to 2. 100 can be written as 10 raised to 2 and raised to 2 over here. 1000 can be written as 10 raised to 3 and 1 nothing but it become 1. So 10 raised to 2 2s are 4 and 3 1s are 3. So it is nothing but 10 raised to 7. Therefore, what is the x value you got? 10 raised to 7 over here. So if you put in equation 1, so what you will get? 1 joule is equals to x value we got 10 raised to 7 over here, 10 raised to 7 arc. So you can try at home 1 Newton equals to x dyne as a example. What you have to do here, Newton is the SI unit of force. So you can take here how I have taken a dimensional formula for work over here. So for this you can take dimensional formula for force and you can proceed in the same way and you can solve this as a homework. There are certain limits to apply dimensional analysis. In some cases, we can't use dimension analysis to solve some problem. Like if you see here, the first one is the value of dimensionless constant can be obtained with the help of experiments only. Means, for example, if you see in the previous example what I have taught you, in one of the uses of this dimension analysis, t is equal to 2 pi under root L by G. So the value of k is a 2 pi. It can be obtained by experiment only. We can't use dimension analysis to find the value of any constant. So that is the meaning of the value of dimensionless constant can be obtained with the help of experiments only. If you proceed second one, the dimensional analysis cannot be used to derive the relations involving if there are trigonometric functions like sine and cos, exponential e raised to something e raised to x, and logarithm functions like a log functions, as these quantities are dimensionless. So if you want to derive the relation among any these things, you can't use dimension analysis as these quantities are dimensionless. If you proceed to third one, this method is not useful if constant of proportionality is not a dimensionless quantity. For example, if you see the universal law of gravitation, F is directly proportional to masses m1 and m2 divided by the square of the distance between them. So when we remove this proportionality sign, we take proportionality constant as a g, and g is known as a universal gravitational constant. Even though it is said to be constant over here, but it got some dimensions. See how to find out the dimensions of G for your practice. I am showing you. If you keep a G over here, I am solving here. See here, G is equals to, you can take a F into R square divided by M1, M2. If you take a dimensions of all these, how you can write over here? Force is nothing but L1, M1, T raised to minus 2. R is the distance, so it is in terms of length and it is square over here. You can put 1 over here. And these are masses, so it is M. So what we can, if you solve this one, 1, 2 ones are 2, it becomes 3. M1, if this one comes up, it is minus 1, so it becomes 0. And one more M is there. If it comes up, it is a minus 1 over here. And T raised to minus 2 as it is. See here, even though G is called as a universal gravitational constant, it got some dimensions. So this method is not useful if constant of propulsion is not a dimensionless quantity. Means G is not a dimensionless even though it is a constant over here. So the constant of proportionality G is not a dimensionless. Thus earlier method will not work. Which method? Which I already shown you while explaining uses of dimensions. If you proceed to the last limitation of this dimensional analysis is that if the correct equation contains some more terms of the same dimensions, when we call the equation is dimensionally correct, when they have a same dimensions, each term have a same dimensions, it is not possible to know about their presence using dimensional analysis. For example, if I take one of the kinematical equation, that is S equals to ut plus half at square over here, if I find out the dimensions of S, it is something same as dimensions of ut and dimensions of at square. That's why this equation we call it as dimensionally correct. But what happens if I remove this term? If I give only S equals to ut, or if I remove this term and if I give S equals to half at square, even though you will get the same dimensions, but you will not come to know there is another term by using this dimensional analysis. So it is not possible to know about the presence of the terms if they are missing somewhere. So these are the some limitations of dimensional analysis.